Hello, this is Scott Rogers with Funkhauser Real Estate Group with another update on the Harrisonburg and Rockingham County real estate market. This report covers all sales through the end of August 2017, so we're looking at the first 8 months of the year in 2017. The first thing we'll notice is that in August this year there were only 116 home sales. That compares to 158 last year during August. And that is a striking 26% decline in the number of August home sales. We'll contextualize that a little bit further on a future slide. This also dragged down our year-to-date totals, so there have now only been 851 home sales in the first 8 months of this year, as compared to 879 last year. So we've seen a 3% decline in the number of home sales this year. Despite the fact that fewer homes are selling, they're selling at higher prices. The median sales price of all homes in the first 8 months of 2017 has been $197,000, which compares to $190,000 a year ago. So a 3.68% increase in the median sales price of homes this year. Not only have homes been selling for slightly higher prices, they've also been selling more quickly. Median days on market has been 32 days so far in 2017, which is a 37% decline as compared to last year. The city and the county are experiencing somewhat different trends as we look at this comparison. So looking at the last 12 months of sales, so the past year of sales data, there's actually been a 1% decline in the pace of sales in the city, whereas there's been a 5.79% increase in sales in the county. That increase in the pace of sales in the county has been accompanied by an 8% increase in the median sales price in the county, and that 1.4-ish% decline in the pace of sales in the city has been accompanied by a 1.4% decline in the price of homes in the city as well. So slightly different trajectories when we look at what's happening in the city versus the county. This is where it gets interesting. So last August there were 158 home sales, which is way up here and potentially the highest month of home sales in a single month for quite some time, or perhaps forever, in this area. Looking back now a year later, perhaps the main thing we can take away is that that was not a normal month of home sales. The previous Augusts were in the 126 and 106 range, and so in that context, 116 home sales this August is not a terrible spot to be, but certainly far fewer homes sold in August of this year as compared to last year, when you see that 158 drop down to 116. That overall decline in August contributed to the overall decline so far this year. This is a stack of 8 months of sales, getting us up to 851 home sales this year. And that again is a decline from the 879 seen last year. So only time will tell in these last 4 months of the year whether we're able to get back up to 1,313 home sales as we saw last year. If we don't, it won't be the worst spot to be in. There was certainly a big increase from 1,125 home sales in 2015 up to 1,313 home sales in 2016. And so even if we end up somewhere in the high 1,200s, it'll still be a sizable net increase from where we were in 2013, 14, 15, etc. As you can see here, the median sales price has been trending up from 174, 185, 186, now 196. So the median sales price continues to trend upward, and overall the pace of sales has been increasing over the past 3 years, though we did see a slight decline in that annual pace of sales when it came to August 2017. When we look at our overall sales market, single-family homes and townhomes, again, here's an even bigger picture. So a 6-year increase in the sales price of homes in this area, and a 7-year running increase, perhaps 8, perhaps not, this year, of the number of homes that have been selling in our market. Breaking it down to single-family homes, there's actually been a somewhat steeper increase in the median sales price of single-family homes. If we flip forward again to duplexes, townhomes, and condos, you'll see that this increase in median sales price has been a recent phenomenon. So in these attached dwellings, the median sales prices have actually been level for several years before increasing nearly $10,000 as far as the median sales price over the last year in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County. This chart shows the balance between buyer demand and seller supply. The green line is showing a decreasing number of sellers interested in selling their homes as measured by the number of homes on the market. And this buyer demand line is showing the number of buyers who are buying in any 6-month period. And so you can see about a year ago these crossed. And so at that point there was a 6-month supply of homes on the market for sale. And since then that has been drawn further and further apart. And so we are definitely in more of a seller's market now because there are fewer sellers than there are buyers. That's not the case in all price ranges and in all locations, but overall market-wide, that is what we're experiencing. I'm going to flip forward a couple here. So contract activity. We have seen a decline in contract activity when looking August to August. So 130 contracts were signed last August and 111 this August. So that is a decline. And overall, in the last 12 months, there have been 1,268 contracts as compared to 1,272 the previous year. So a small decline in contract activity year over year, which could mean that we will only see ultimately a small decline in 2017 home sales, despite the fact that August was a good bit slower than anticipated. Inventory continues to decline. As you can see here, 409 homes on the market right now. That's compared to 560 a year ago, 635 2 years ago. So one of the reasons homes are selling quickly is because there is so little on the market. One of the reasons perhaps why we're seeing a decline in the number of home sales this year is because there are fewer options for buyers. Oftentimes we're seeing, well, I won't say oftentimes yet, but sometimes we're seeing multiple offers on the same property, and clearly only one of those buyers will win out, and so there are buyers that are not able to find properties that work for them because of these low inventory levels. A few other items to mention. Let's take a look by price range. So homes under 200,000 are seeing a 2% increase, so pretty level home sales under 200,000 in this market. We're seeing a big increase, a 20% increase in homes priced between 200,000 to 300,000, and an even more significant 32% increase over the past year in the number of homes that are selling between 300,000 and 400,000. So, and certainly 400,000 and up, we're also seeing an increase, an 11% increase. So increases in home sales across all price ranges, though that may eventually shift in some of those price ranges as the slower August and potentially slower net home sales in 2017 catch up with some of these trajectories. Inventory levels are falling in almost all categories. The biggest decline is a 46% decline in the under $200,000 price range. And that's partially because prices are rising, so fewer homes fall into this price range. And the biggest increase, or the only price range in which we're seeing an increase in inventory levels is the over $400,000 price range, which is somewhat typical at this time of year. You can follow that green line. You'll see it declines, it goes back up, it declines, and it goes back up. So a somewhat expected seasonal increase there. There's quite a bit of additional information in here about lot sales and land sales, how our market is affected by foreclosures and trustee sales, etc. And finally, interest rates play a big role in this as well. So interest rates have stayed extraordinarily low. You can see for the past 3 years they've been almost entirely under 4% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. We went all the way up to 4.3% at the end of last year, but we've gotten back down to around 3.8%. So opportunities continue to abound to lock in low interest rates for financing a home purchase. That is the end of this video overview in regards to our local real estate market. You can read this entire report or download it as a PDF at harrisonburghousingmarket.com. A few other things to note: you can read nearly daily updates on our local housing market on my blog, which is harrisonburghousingtoday.com. You can also, if you're a buyer and wanting to stay up to date on homes that are coming on the market, you can visit newlistingsinharrisonburg.com. And then 2 websites that have been helpful for buyers and sellers are quite simply buyingahomeInHarrisonburg.com and sellingahomeInHarrisonburg.com. So feel free to check those out for some resources and tips and an explanation of the process. Again, I'm Scott Rogers with Funkhauser Real Estate Group, and look forward to speaking with you next month. And between now and then, if you have interest in buying or selling a home and I can be of help to you, feel free to be in touch. Thanks so much.